Well, hello everyone. This is something new I'm going to try this year, and hopefully this will be the first of many race breakdowns. We're going to look back at my video from the race this weekend and see what went right, what went wrong, how it all played out. So, Sunday, I went up to the Bazaar Road Race in Kansas, the Mike Underwood Memorial Bazaar Road Race. Race that's been going on for several decades. It's actually the first time I've raced it. It is a 47-mile course, out and back, basically heads south for the first half, turns around and heads north, and of course, we got winds from the west, 15 to 20 miles an hour wind from the west, so crosswinds the whole day. Just great conditions for a hard race, and turned out to be great conditions for me on the day. So there were 20 riders in the field, just about. Really, I think the only team that had multiple guys in there was Move Up. They had Michael Allison and Matt Ledbetter and Tyler Cheslick, and I've raced against these guys quite a few times up in Kansas. It's been a little while with COVID. I think 2019 Tour of Lawrence is the last time I've raced up in Kansas. So it's been a while, but they're always a good team that you're gonna have a good day if you're gonna beat them. And then Jordan Miller was there. He's with Landis Trek now. He used to race with those guys. I think he's won this race last 3 or 4 years. So he was definitely one of the guys I was watching out for too. And then there were a couple other guys who I didn't really know before the race that ended up playing a pretty big role in it. So it was Craig Kilbassis from South Chicago Wilman, John Shalabrisky for U.S. Military Endurance Sports, and William Hankhouse for Quantum. So the 8 of us, we'll get to in a little bit, but that was the 8. The race really came down between. So it didn't take long for the first attack to launch here, about 5 minutes into the race, and Jordan Miller goes, and we've got the wind coming from our right side here, so he's just gonna ride us up against the center line. And unlike maybe some of the races down in Texas, it was actually, people respected the center line. It actually gave you a chance to gutter people in the crosswinds, and we were on a highway. We didn't want to be riding on the wrong side of the road. So strung it out a little bit, but it all came back together. So we'll skip ahead a little bit, and now we're going uphill, and I think this is my best chance. There aren't many hills on this route. It's pretty flat, so might as well. I can do tack uphill and ride them into the gutter. The gutter being the center line in this case. So we're about 8 minutes into the race at this point. I see you've got a little bit of a split going, so I let him get in the draft, see if we can work and get away. I kind of wish I'd had the camera mounted on the back of the bike instead of the front for this one, for this race, but I know Jordan came with me. At least one of the Move Up guys came with me. Yeah, there's Michael Allison. Here's John. May just be the 4 of us, I think. And this is a good group, but it's still over 40 miles left, and there was no way it was gonna go. But I'm gonna keep riding. it's one of those. The race is less than 2 hours. There's no point in sitting around. Make it as hard as I can, as much as I can. If it comes down to a sprint, I'm really in trouble. So anytime there's a chance, especially if I've got the momentum, anytime there's a chance to go through to the front and keep it hard, I'm going to. And Jordan was racing that same way early. Here you can see he pulls through. He's gonna see if he can keep it going, but obviously move up. If they only had one guy up here, it looks like there's no motivation for them to do anything. If it comes down to a sprint, they're gonna be happy. And here we are, finally catching up to the one rider that apparently did not understand what a neutral rollout was and attacked us during the neutral part of the race. And there goes Jordan again. And we're up on a little bit of a plateau before we drop back down the hill. It was really windy up here. So we'll skip ahead. About 30 minutes into the race now. We've made it halfway out. And it's stuck together, for the most part. There's 8 to 10 of us still in this front group. There have been attacks, comes back, attacks, people trying to string it out in the crosswind. And now I'm really going for it here. And here comes Jordan around me. William and John, and then Michael. I'm trying to get something going. I can sense that people are starting to hurt. Maybe there's a chance to get away, and every time I'm going into the wind, I'm really pushing it, but I'll swing over again. And now I think I'm away. Like I said earlier, I need the reverse camera, but that second pull through, I left him behind, and now I'm away riding solo. I'm gonna try to build up a gap, but this is one of those situations where to survive to the finish, it would really take a terrible miscalculation from the guys behind. It's not as bad as riding into a headwind, but crosswind still would be really, really tough to survive 30 miles solo. So I've been out maybe 5-7 minutes. And eventually Michael Allison from Move Up bridges across to me, so here he comes. And now I'm in a good situation. I'm in a two-man breakaway with the only guy that has multiple teammates in the chase. So there's a group of 6 behind us, and like I said, 2 of them are Michael's teammates. And the other 4, 3 of them I don't really know. I know Jordan Strong, the other 3. I don't really know what they're gonna do. I was building the lead out. I probably had, it was hard to say. I had, maybe a 15-second gap that Michael bridged across. I was starting to get to the point where I was wondering if it was even worth it to be spending that energy out there, but as soon as I saw him coming across, that was good for me. I got to ease up a little bit, let him catch up, start working together again, and see what will happen. Because if the chase behind gets disorganized, we could be gone. It doesn't take It doesn't take very long for a gap to grow rapidly if no one's interested in chasing. But to their credit, I think Jordan really organized them, got them going. I look behind the gap. The highest I ever measured it at was 30 seconds, so they kept us close. And now I've skipped ahead to the turnaround point, so halfway done, and you're about to see how close they really are. It's been 10 seconds since we turned around, and there they are. So roughly 20-second gap here. And now we're going to get the wind coming from the left instead of the right. And at this point, Michael really, I could tell he wasn't really interested in working anymore. I tried to give it a few more strong pulls after here, but really, the writing was on the wall. Anything I was doing was going to be a waste of energy. So here's the catch with about 20 miles left, and you can see John tries to go straight through one of the move-up riders and Jordan. So I have to accelerate pretty quickly. Obviously we're watching behind to see him coming, so it's not a surprise. 20 miles left, and gonna have about a 5-mile stretch across tailwind before it goes into more of a true crosswind into the finish. So it's been 1, maybe 2 minutes since we got back together, and now here goes Jordan on the attack. No one on his wheel. I'm not going to be the one to chase this down. There's 3 move-up guys here. There's John in the black there. He's shown he's willing to do some work here to follow moves, but now that Tyler goes and so John follows him, and obviously I've got to go with this one. And Tyler's really sprinting across the gap. John didn't get on the wheel. I'm not too worried about it. I'm a little tired right now. We were out there 20 minutes in our 2-man breakaway, Michael and me. So the legs were hurting a little bit. I would have liked some more recovery, but at this point the race is on. Gotta keep, I gotta stay with everyone. No teammates. Can't risk letting anything go. So I'll get across to these guys. I think John actually ended up not making it across. Michael is on my wheel, I believe. So we've got a 4-man breakaway here. Now it's Jordan, me, and then the 2 move-up riders. And we're moving pretty fast here, across tailwind. A little bit downhill too. And you can see Jordan on the front. He really put in the work here, trying to break it up. And the 4 of us, we were together for a few minutes, but I don't think, the reality was I don't think either Jordan or I wanted to be in a situation where Move Up had half the riders in the breakaway. If it was 2 of us and 1 of them, I know I would have worked for sure in that situation. I think Jordan would have too. I don't know if they would have, but here you can see we're gonna start rotating, but this will be a short-lived break. So we were actually out there a bit longer than I remembered. So this is 13 minutes later and we finally get caught. Here come some riders flying past. But at this point, you can see we still got 40 minutes left in the race. And from here to the finish, it all stayed together. For a good bit of it, we were riding really slow. The wind was whipping, but it was attack, ride the gutter, no separation. We all slow down and ride together. So I will skip towards the end so we can get to the more exciting part of the race. So here we are coming in to the last few miles of the race. I skipped kind of the boring part, but I've been trying to conserve as much energy as I can. Yeah, the 2 breakaways tired me out a little bit. You know, first road race of the year, not sure how my legs are gonna go. There was a hill I wanted to attack on with 2.5, 3 miles left, but it ended up being into a headwind, so I really couldn't do that. And I knew there was one little bump just past 1K to go, and I've been weighing my options. Should I try that, or should I just take my chances in the sprint? You know, if I try that, it's either win or nothing, you know, is kind of what I think. And if I take my chances in the sprint, you know, who knows? Most of the time I'd feel pretty good making the podium out of 8 guys, you know. I had a decent chance at the podium. But I'm gonna try this move. I lay off the back, we go over this hill, then we're gonna go, I call them a hill, they're not very steep, but we're gonna go down, then we're gonna go straight into another uphill. So I lay off the back coming up, that lets me save my legs just a little bit. And I'm gonna build up the speed on the downhill. You can see 800, 900,000 watts. And you can see 32 miles an hour when I go past them, more than 5 miles an hour faster than they were going. And I've got to go as hard as I can, sprint up, get to the top of this thing so I can sit down in the saddle. And it's going to be a 1.5-minute effort to the finish line. You see that big metal building on the side of the road on the left? That's where the finish line's going to be. Take a look behind here, and I've got a good gap, 50 meters probably. You know, my first instinct is I've got it won. I've just got to keep going hard. But you know, anyone who's tried this move knows the legs are in pain. You know, now we're really downhill to the finish. 1 or 2%. One last look, and now I know I've got it. I just got to keep pedaling to the finish. But you can see the power dipping down a little bit. But it was a 1.5 minutes. It was just under 500 watts average. But the real key was just catching them off guard and having that flying start. So, pretty excited. First race of the year. Got the win. And, you know, I felt like I was the strongest guy out there, and no offense to anyone. I know Michael rode hard, Jordan rode hard, but Move Up came through with 2nd and 3rd on the podium there. But man, it feels good to have the strategy come through like that. So you kind of went on talking a little bit longer than I expected to. Maybe a little bit long-winded, but I'll try to do more of these this year. Not just when I win, but we'll try to sit down and analyze some races. If you guys like this, you know, leave a comment or hit that like button so I know people are getting some entertainment or something out of this. So thank y'all for watching and listening. Don't forget to check out my sponsors, the Bike Route in Fayetteville, best bike shop in Northwest Arkansas. They always keep me keep my full stable of bikes in tip-top shape, ready to go. So check them out, and I will see y'all on the next one.